This is a 1914 Buick, open tourer, typical American car of its era. American car of this era was a lot more robustly built, whereas the European car was a lot more elegantly constructed. This was one of the first American cars to have electric lights and self-starter, which made the advent to lady drivers.
By the time the manufacturers built this car, they had to realize that they were catering for women as well as for men. They wanted a little bit of luxury, comfort, and they had to be easy to drive. A woman had to be able to change a tire in an emergency when she was on the road by herself. It had to be a simple operation. It was no good to have a car that was too heavy in the steering so that the woman couldn't drive it. This was the time women were making their influence felt and they wanted to have their way.
Pick well up for lunch. That's a lot easier than cranking.
Even though cars were getting easier to drive, it was still quite a business. Motoring in the old days was a leisurely affair. You could take your picnic basket and have your tea. Time was not of the essence.
Steering, you've got to have quite a muscle power in your arms, but it's very direct. Your advance and retard is here on the steering column, plus a hand throttle, which is very useful if you've got to crank it. The oil gate is a little round wheel, very similar to the old tread water wheel. As the oil is pumped around, the wheel goes round, and that would give you an indication that you've got oil pressure.
Where's Teton? It's amazing. This car is 70 years old, and yet it's still a pleasure to drive. Having to stop and check over everything gave the driver and his passengers a chance to relax.
She arrived.
Yes, the old girl's a bit warm, but I think she's fine.
I think we should put the hood up. The weather's changing.
Ros, undo your clip there. It's an absolute privilege and joy to own an old vehicle of this nature. It's a whole family affair which we all take pride and joy in.